a year. They have been putting field offices in the red counties and the blue counties. They think that that is what is going to take them to the finish line. So again, the vice president is going to be coming here to Pittsburgh to deliver that message of optimism as she closes out her campaign trail. Tomorrow, by the way, she will be doing radio interviews from the Naval Observatory before she heads to her own election night event in Washington, D.C. Anderson.
Crystal Alvarez, thanks so much. The former president also in Pittsburgh, a few miles away at the PPG Paints Arena. From there, he'll close out his campaign in Grand Rapids, Michigan. CNN's Kristen Holmes is there for us. How is the former president making the final case tonight?
Well, Anderson, they're viewing Pittsburgh as his closing message. Now, he'll likely deliver the same speech here in Grand Rapids, but they understand the timing of that Pittsburgh rally is right smack when everybody is watching television on the eve of actually hitting the polls. Now, Donald Trump is supposed to be delivering the remarks that everyone has wanted him to be delivering for the last 6 months, which essentially is that Kamala Harris was part of the Biden administration. She had 3.5 years to fix the economy, to fix the border, and she didn't. Now, we know it's Donald Trump, so he, of course, started somewhat talking about that, but also gone off message. He was telling various stories about his time in office, his time campaigning. We'll see what the final message is, but I can tell you one thing. There have been a lot of calls between allies and advisors, the heads of the campaign, trying to ensure that Donald Trump actually delivers the message they want him to deliver. Everyone that I've spoken to on the campaign believes that those voters who are going to cast their ballots on Tuesday, most of them have made up their mind who they're going to vote for, but also think that if Donald Trump says something that is wildly inappropriate, that is something that is off script, obviously comments that he is likely or has done in the past, that could actually influence people not to show up at the polls on Tuesday. So they have tried to keep him on a strict leash as much as they possibly can. Again, it's Donald Trump. We've seen the kind of remarks he's made over the past 48 hours. Whether or not they're being successful, a question remains to be seen. They are feeling cautiously optimistic about this election. We will see what happens when those voters actually head to the polls tomorrow.
All right, Kristen Holmes, thanks. Let's turn now to CNN's chief national correspondent, John King, in the Magic Wall with more on the election geography underlying the candidates' travel schedules. All right, John, let's start off with Vice President Harris. What is her most likely path to 270 electoral votes?
I'll get there, Anderson. I just want to show people, like it's blank right now, right? By midnight tonight, we get Dixville Notch, and then tomorrow we'll have more votes in this wall. So it is time. That is upon us. It's the night before the election. So you talked about the vice president. How does she get to 270? There's a reason she is spending her entire day in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The 7 battleground states are in yellow on this map. She's at 226 right now. You got to get to 270. That's 19. You get those 19, you're well on your way. And the blue wall states, Michigan and Wisconsin included, have voted together since 1992. Donald Trump won them in 2016. That was the huge surprise that made Donald Trump president. If the vice president can win those 3 blue wall states, that's 270 right there, as long as she gets Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. So no path is easy, Anderson, but that is her easiest path to 270. And those have been Democratic states with the exception of 2016. So that's where they start. Now, can she get there without that? Let's come back to where we were. Let's say that Donald Trump, for example, repeated 2016, and that he took all 3 blue wall states. Right? Can the vice president win then? She can. It would require a sweep of the Sun Belt. It would require North Carolina. It would require Georgia. It would require Arizona, and it would require Nevada. Now, so there's the blue wall strategy, and there's a Sun Belt path. Both candidates, essentially the same path. Trump would need a little bit more. Trump can't win with just the blue wall. He would have to pick up something else along the way. The other scenario is, what if there's a mix and match? What if these 3 don't stay together? That's when it would get really interesting. If Michigan, say, and Wisconsin went blue and Pennsylvania went red, then you're in a scramble to get to 270 down through the Sun Belt. That's unusual. It doesn't normally happen, but this has been an unusual year, so we prepare for everything.
Where will we be watching on election night to see which candidate has an advantage?